Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. The sleigh bells tell us that it is time for another holiday release, this time a little one, a little fun one that I thought you might like to see. This is the brand new Too Faced Forbidden Fruitcake Mini Eyeshadow Palette. We are going to talk about it, swatch it, compare it, and do a little bit of a demo for this fun little guy. Now, before we get into it, I do have to apologize for any background noise that you may be hearing. They're doing some construction just across the street from me, and you know, I was trying to wait for them, but the show must go on. They've been at it for days, so I do apologize for any disruptive noise in the background. All right, here is again the Too Faced Forbidden Fruitcake Mini Eyeshadow Palette. It is $27 and it is 8 shades. The one thing we can say about Too Faced is, well, we can't accuse them of not having a sense of humor. This is a really fun one. They've actually done a holiday palette based on based on the holiday nemesis, the fruitcake. Raise your hand out there if you've passed a fruitcake around your family or friends. Actually, fruitcake isn't that bad, but you know, it definitely has a bad reputation, and Too Faced has a lot of fun with that in this little $27 8-shade palette. As usual, well, let me take a look at it in the pan for you first. And we're going to look at it on the arm in 2 different lights and do some comparisons as well. And just as we always expect from Too Faced, it's got a fruitcake smell that's kind of fun. It smells like you can smell the different fruits and the cake batter. As usual, if you are put off by scent in your makeup products, don't worry. This really, what I always say about Too Faced is you got to really stick your nose all the way in to really get a good whiff. When you apply it to your eyes, it does not linger. It is not there. So don't be put off by that. I don't find it irritating, and I have sensitive skin, etc., etc. Let's look at this little guy first on my arm in studio lighting. So take a look at it right there. We're going to read off the shades left to right. Want a Piece of Me, followed by Rum for the Hills, Candied Pineapple, Haters Gonna Cake, Frosty Buns, Cherry, Nobody Loafs Me, and Forbidden Fruitcake. That's that beautiful, crazy looking duochrome at the end. I felt like I was reading out question categories of a game show. Like, you know, when they get snide categories on a game show. Kind of funny. These guys don't swatch as well as others, even in larger Too Faced palettes, but they do apply to the eyes well. They are not going to be the quality you would expect from a much more expensive palette. Although, let me tell you, this Forbidden Fruitcake kind of namesake duo trio chrome is really quite cool. I don't know if you see it shifting there. It's actually really, really pretty on. I wanted to look at this. We could compare swatches all day, especially when we're talking about browns and kind of cakey, creamy shades. But what I did just for the sake of brevity is I brought out its Big Brother palette that was released, not really for the holidays, but kind of a pre-holiday release from Too Faced, the Cinnamon Swirl palette, which is of course much bigger and also delicious smelling. And there's lots of similar shades, but they're not really the same. And the scent is very different. So let's take a look at them first side by side. This is obviously our new little one. And I'll try to get those mirrors out of the way. Here is our brand new Forbidden Fruitcake Mini Eyeshadow Palette next to its bigger sister, the Cinnamon Swirl, also by Too Faced. I wanted to just show you those next to each other in the pan. When I was reviewing the Cinnamon Swirl palette, you guys, I was like, why is there a purple in there? And then, of course, someone told me in the comments that's the raisins on the cinnamon bun. Why didn't I realize that? Darn it. Okay, let's see them side by side in studio light first on my arm. I have left the Forbidden Fruitcake palette on the bottom, and then up top above it I tried to put some comparable shades, all the comparable shades I could pull from the Cinnamon Swirl palette. In case you purchase the Cinnamon Swirl, you might be wondering if this little addition would work well with it. Yes. Or if it's too many repeats. Not really, actually. There's some in the similar shade categories, but not really an actual flat-out repeat, and certainly none of the exact same shades. And again, this duochrome, the namesake of the palette duochrome, is actually incredibly cool. It kind of goes gray, green, gold, so it's not really duochrome trio or quadrichrome. It's pretty cool. Let's take these two palettes on my arm outside. I left in the sunshine here for Southern California sunshine. I left the brand new Forbidden Fruitcake palette below and those somewhat similar swatches from the Cinnamon Swirl palette above it for you to enjoy in the sunlight. I always think that's really the truest way to see shades. Now, as I said, these are not going to be as high quality as others, but to be honest with you, I am loving the eye look I got. I mean, how fun is this? I want to take you with me while we recreate it super quickly in my own inimitable style, and then we have to talk about this. This is what it is. It's less expensive. It's fun. I mean, why not? Let's put it on my eye. Okay, let's get the holiday glamour on here, starting with this really cute little palette. And because I'm just opening it, I need to stop and sniff it. How do they do that? It really smells like fruit and cake, like you can smell the cake batter. How do they do that? Okay, let's start with this shade here called Want a Piece of Me? Want a piece of me? Okay, let's see. So the quality on this little palette is not the same as the quality on the bigger Cinnamon Swirl that I just reviewed more recently, and I'll actually attach that review below if I haven't mentioned that. But it is still nice and fun and usable, and that is a very, very light shade that we started with. Okay, let's go in next, just using the exact same Rephr number 1 brush. We're gonna go to Nobody Loafs Me. I wish somebody would loaf me because I enjoy a loaf of bread. I enjoy a loaf of zucchini bread, carrot bread, you know. You gotta start talking about food when you're using these palettes, right? So I'm just doing in the crease with this matte shade, Nobody Loafs Me. They have such a good sense of humor over there. They must just crack up at the meetings where they come up with the names, right? And I'm gonna put some of Nobody Loafs Me on the on the lid as well. And it is this is just a very pretty, very fun palette. I'm going to use the exact same brush because I'm lazy like that and go into Rum for the Hills. I'm not misspeaking, Rum for the Hills. And I'm just going to darken the edges. What a pretty little palette. Okay, Rum for the Hills here. And I'm just going to help that along a little bit. I squinted. Okay. And that is a very, very, what a fun little pretty palette. Let's go ahead and go under a little bit with Rum for the Hills using one of my What's Up Beauty brushes, which are goat hair brushes that I really like from an indie brand. And then I need some sort of a little bit of a sparkle. So let's go with this one, Candied Pineapple, here just in the center, which is so pretty. A little bit of fallout, but nothing to be afraid of. Remember, I mean, you know, this is a less expensive palette. It's kind of a little stocking stuffer, really. How pretty is that? And then I'm going to use this little brush from Rephr, the number 3, and let's go into this pinker shade called Frosty Buns and put that right there in the inner corner. And let's even put a little bit up here. Why not? Oh, pretty. Pretty and fun. And I'm going to put on, I slammed that really tight there. I am going to put on some mascara. The smell is lingering, the scent I should say is lingering just a little bit and making me so hungry. I'll be right back in a second if I don't go to the fridge. Okay, I added in some liner, some mascara, and you know, I have to tell you guys, I love this look. I think it is so holiday and so fun. I have some red Charlotte Tilbury lipstick on that I tried to put some gloss over. I'm playing around with the Victoria Beckham gloss because I really just can't form an opinion on it. So that's bleeding a little bit. Sorry about that. But still with a little bit of red accent on it and the eye, I am really enjoying this eye look. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a $27 mini palette. This is not going to be on par with quality of Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury and Natasha Denona. I mean, don't expect that. Don't think that. But actually, they're really fun. They perform well. They don't swatch even as beautifully as its big sister palette here, which seems to be, you know, a little bit more a little bit richer in the shades. But to be honest with you, it's fun. It's a great gift. It's a great gift for someone and for yourself, a stocking stuffer. $27 is nothing to sneeze at these days. I'm not trying to say that. But it's an inexpensive, fun palette you can throw in your bag for travel. I was really not very careful with it when I used it. I just, you know the way I throw stuff on. But I just, you know, I just had fun with it. And I think the overall look is actually really cute for a $27 fun palette that smells, this is my excuse, woo, absolutely delicious. Smells nicer than any fruitcake I've ever smelled before, to be honest with you. So I actually think it's fun, and I would recommend it. I mean, why not? Let me know your thoughts below, because I would certainly love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video along with me, I hope you did give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.